Welcome to Believe It or Not, an Interfaith Grand River program. I'm your host, August Edelman, and I'm joined here today by Komal, who is a member of the Sikh community in Kitchener Waterloo and also a professor at Conestoga College. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do when you're not in this room?
Yeah, so my name is Komal Kaur, and thank you for pronouncing it right. It literally means soft. And I'm teaching here in Conestoga College from almost last 5 years. And I moved to Canada, I think 5.5 years back. So it was quite a good journey. Back in India, I was in IT field, I was in networking, I was teaching few courses too. So I was trying my wherever I could, whatever qualities I had. And here it just gave me the direction. When I joined Conestoga College, I was really moved by the fact that how you can stay in touch with the community, how you can help the students, right? So it helped me grow myself as well. There's so many chances where you can get together, and not just for the education, but for other things, because that's how the public colleges are here. They are wonderful with the opportunity. So that helped me to grow into the community, not just in the Sikh community, but others too. So I have very great friends here, and I'm pretty grateful.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you've settled in and that you like it. That's so nice to hear. Um, so tell me a bit about your faith journey. So were you born Sikh? What motivates you in your faith life?
So yeah, I was born in Punjab. That's in North India. So yeah, majority of people there are from Sikhism. So my family was also they were following Sikh religion. When I was a child, I would just follow my parents, right? Not really knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I would love the food, just talking with the friends and winning the prizes because I was also into singing and. We would regularly sing the hymns and everything. So they would give you very nice gifts and all. So that definitely attracted me, and history as well, because my mother was a history and social studies teacher. So she would regularly tell me all about Sikhism and other, you could say, the original history. So that attracted me too, but it didn't really make sense at that time until the time when I joined the college, when I was doing my bachelor's in IT. It was in the same region. So luckily in our college, there was a Sikh Gurdwara. People might also know it as a temple here, but we call it Gurdwara.
Yeah.
So whenever I will get free time, I would go there. The good thing was because it was in the college, most of the time there were no, some mandatory things going on. It was very open and inclusive. You could have some your own independent time there, right?
Mm.
So I started connecting to, you could say, the word of the Guru, that is Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji is our current Guru. Just to give you a little context, so we had 10 living human and like gurus in the human form. So 10 gurus, and then 11th Guru is Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is our current and forever Guru. It is in the form of a scripture, and it do contain words from most of our gurus and many saintly people.
Mm.
So that's what we worship now, and that's what gave us the direction, right? So I definitely had some troubling times. I was
Mm.
teenage, stressful time. There is definitely a chance of upsetting your mind in many ways. But I was lucky that I found the right direction. Maybe somehow my parents had already, instilled that in me. So when I had all these doubts, I kind of felt depression. I didn't feel like talking to anyone or something. Then I went straight to the guru, not
Mm.
to, A, B, or C, but I just went straight to the guru and asked him, so what is this? What is the purpose? What are we doing here? So that experience, it can be, I think, your own personal experience. But if we say, if we consider the faith, right, the faith that we have in God, it is very inclusive. Doesn't matter in which religion we are born, you can always connect with God in some way. In
Mm.
all the religions, we have some way to connect with God. So that was my way, and I definitely felt like I'm talking to Him, right? So that gave me direction, and that gave me quite a lot of support. My faith definitely it got rooted more, and I started to understand the purpose of life and what's going to stay forever and what is just here for a couple minutes or hours or maybe years.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was the time when I really started searching, attending more of the Sikhism programs.
Mhm. That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's something that I know in my faith tradition, I'm Jewish, we talk a lot about of this sort of you kind of plant the seeds in children and hope that,
Yeah,
in teenagerhood, off they go and they don't want to be here and they don't want to talk about it. And then eventually, that
yes,
rootedness
it is.
will bring them
I
back.
definitely appreciate my parents, right?
Yeah.
Even if that doesn't make sense when they're doing it, but at some point of life,
Mhm.
it can help your child.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
there when you needed it. Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. So you've mentioned a couple of sort of the main kind of ideas around your faith, this idea of that God is always there for you and however you choose to access that.
Yeah.
Um, so what of those kinds of ideas sort of the most important to you? What are the ones that you kind of carry with you?
So there are actually many. Um, what I have learned so far, it can even take you multiple lives to understand and practice them. But so far, what my experience had been, and what I have learned, or what is closer to my heart, is trying to accept the will of God,
Mm,
right? So there are, I think, mainly just two ways of living a life. That is, I am doing everything, the I
mm,
notion, and then it's you are doing everything, right? So when I say acceptance of God, if you accept that everything is being done by Him, the God Himself, whatever name we want to give, right?
mm,
In Sikhism, we usually call Waheguru, but I know in other religions there can be other names, but it's completely fine, right? But yeah, the acceptance of His will, the hukam, is what is closest to my heart, or you could say this is something I try to practice
mm.
every day. It is not something that I can achieve just in a day or something, sometime. This is something you have to practice every day, right? Because it's very easy to say when we do something good, I have achieved this and that, and it's easy to say, okay, I have done that. Look at it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then something goes wrong. Why, God? Why are you doing this to me, right?
yeah.
So the acceptance is for both the parts,
Mm,
and when you are on this path, you recognize, you realize tiny things that the life hits you, but the if you remember what path you're following, what you are practicing, that will help you. Okay, it is you. I accept it,
mm,
and I know what path I am on, so it's all right. I know you are doing it for my favor, for my welfare. If I have accepted that you are my father, we lovingly say that God is our father too, our mother too, and everything. So a father or a mother can never do harm to his child, right?
mhm,
So that is the acceptance. If you feel like some difficulty is there, some bad times are there, they are also required to learn and grow and understand the meaning of life,
mm.
right? So yeah, that's what I think is closer to my heart, acceptance of will.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because I think you're right. I think there is that kind of temptation sometimes to be like, especially when things are going well, to be like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm good. But of course, you don't live your life just in one moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me a little bit about how your community has affected you? So, you said that you've been here 5.5 years. You've got some friends here. You're settled. You're connected to the Gurdwara.
Yeah.
Tell me about how that impacts you.
So, yeah, that is definitely very important. The company and the community which is around you, right?
Hmm.
Because it's very difficult to grow independently. When I was back in Punjab, uh, the community, my friends, family, relatives, they were all around. I never felt that void. Never had a like something's missing. It was very first time when I came here, I joined Conestoga. I had no connection. It was my husband. My husband is here with me and my brother and sister-in-law, but still I felt like a void. Very first time in my life. Okay, something's missing because I've always had been a community person, volunteering and doing the services outside of Gurdwara too. So I really missed that. So that's when we started gathering even in Conestoga to maybe do the weekly prayers, right? That's how it started connecting. We started talking, and that's how it started growing with the students, with the alumni of the college, and then further reaching to the gurdwaras, meeting other people who are already established, and now even connecting to interfaith communities, right? It's lovely. So step by step, I think I'm growing in a very good direction, and this is what uh, helps you grow, and this is what helps you retain what you have grown into, because the good company, right? The people around you, they're very, very important if you want to retain some good qualities in you or the spirituality, right? So that's actually one of the principles of Sikhism too, that one should be very wise about the company that you keep, because that's what help you grow. And when we say grow, we really don't say like growing the wealth, having a bigger car or the house. Our focus is more on the growth of your spiritual path, yourself, the internal bliss that you want to feel, or um, yeah, that's what I refer to, and that definitely grows with good people around. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Do you do you find, and maybe this is just my experience, certainly being of a minority religion in the region, like, do you find you have to work harder to make sure you have that community?
Uh, if you see from the outer perspective, surely it can be difficult. But I think I was lucky enough. I didn't have to work too hard because I connected with the right people. I would say, and it just kept growing day by day. And people here are very because we are minority, they're more connected. They live like families. They care for each other, right? So that helps. I think that hadn't been a very big issue for me. Yeah, because I don't really believe in numbers. Even when I look at my life, having how many friends I had, or how big a circle I had, it wasn't too big. So that doesn't really concerns me. If you even have one person beside you, right, who is good as a company. So being minority can be it could be troublesome on the political level, on the social level. There are definitely challenges. Just having a platform to say your thing. There have been such issues. They disturb you for sure. Many such incidents happen. There is always a chance of oppression that disturbs us for sure when it happens. But on the spiritual journey, I would say it really doesn't matter from which faith or community you are. If you are on that path, you really don't feel alone. Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that you've got that, and the community is so closely connected.
Yes.
So you've sort of touched on some difficult times when you were a teenager.
Mhm.
Um, have there been times when your faith has either been a challenge for you or when your faith has helped you deal with an outside challenge?
Um, yeah, definitely. If we consider today's time, the social media, the pressure of looking beautiful, having nicest clothes in all, and in all that chaos, practicing religion and staying simple is very difficult
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But when you know your path, and when you remember it every day, okay, this is my destination, right? This is what gives me bliss. You feel it inside. When you are focused, you can feel it, you can experience it. But for that, you have to be attentive. You have to be at the right place, right people. And when you consistently get that, it gets easy. don't get wandered here and there. So initially, it was difficult because, um, especially for Sikh girls, we do not cut hair. Sikhism does not, again, it comes from the concept of accepting the will of God. We live the way we are, and we being grateful to whatever God has given us, right?
Mm.
But considering like the last decade, how the things are changing in fashion sense and everything, it's becoming more and more difficult for the girls, right? There are social norms, some practices. Um, if a person doesn't follow, they are labeled as okay, maybe they're not clean enough or what not, right? There is bullying. Um, but again, I will come to the point: the community around you, the circle around you. If you are in that good space and good place, you won't feel it inside. The difficulty, it all comes from inside, from your mind, right? If you have that strength, you can just do all the things just smiling and not worrying about anything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and speaking of, having the right people around you, someone who's going to make you feel bad about your body or your dress or whatever,
Yes,
based on these ever-changing norms
for
is
sure.
not the right person, right?
Yes.
Um,
And I think we also not need to, you know, sometimes we try to pick up everything of our own. With social media, definitely we have reached the entire world at a place, and sometimes we try to do everything. Like I want to do this to whatever the popular norms are, or whatever the things are happening. You really don't have to do everything. Just find your peace, right? It's okay if you're living your life just with 100 people around. It's okay. You don't really have to meet all those hundred and thousands of people and um, visit all the places that are popular. It's okay.
yeah.
You gotta try to find your bliss inside. So that's the point, I believe. But when there are these many distractions, it's easy
Yeah.
to get wander. So focus is the point, I believe. Remembering every day
Mm.
your destination. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's so important, that
Yes.
because you could just absolutely drive yourself mad trying to
Yeah.
always attain something, always meet some goal, always find some new thing.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're inside you, and that's where you gotta be.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I also, see many news now. I look at the girls, they win the titles like Miss World and whatever the organizations are, but Miss Universe. And then I also see the news like they still undergo surgeries. They're still not satisfied
Mm.
how they look. That hits me. Like being that beautiful outside, you're still not satisfied.
Yeah.
So I think that's something in your own hand. It's your choice where you want to draw the line. Okay, this is enough for me. I'm satisfied. I really don't want to impress others. I really don't want to impress the creation. Maybe I just want to impress the creator.
Mm,
Right?
hmm.
So you have to draw your boundaries yourself. Otherwise, it will make you mad. What's happening?
Yeah, yeah. It's another good line,
Yeah,
impressing the creation, not the creator.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
That's the opposite.
well, opposite. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Happens.
But yeah, no, that's a brilliant, brilliant
Yes,
line.
sure.
Um, so if there's sort of one thing you want to say to kind of wrap up what we've talked about today, if there's one thing you want to tell the people at home or share with the world, what would it be?
I find this question the most. I get totally clueless when someone asks me, okay, what's the final word? Um, I think that would be just find your path, right? Stay focused. Uh, don't get impressed very easily, I would say.
Mm.
We get impressed very easily from others, especially how the people are from outside. So try to understand, sit with yourself, try to understand yourself, discover yourself, and see what gives you peace. And that is what will give you the focus of life. And rather than just looking at others and, okay, he got a new car and he looks so happy, you don't know what's
Mhm.
going on in their life, right? So that's what I would say in wrap. Focus on yourself, your own discovery, your own mind, your thoughts. Look at that and just keep growing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's been such a joy talking to you.
Same here.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Believe It or Not.
I'm really no professional, especially when it comes to talking about my inner feelings or emotions. I sometimes find myself short of words, especially in English.
Mm.
I'm not that a good speaker of English, I do know, but I'm grateful. God has helped me today.
You did great.